You don't need money, and here is why. Earning the money we need to live is presumably the main reason we work at all. But does money motivate us to continuously perform our best work? Let's take a peek at what science and research have to say about that. Watch this video until the end and you will find out why you don't need money. Like this video and let's go. 1. Money is never enough. It may light a temporary fire. We may get a temporary boost resulting in higher sales or productivity. But the problem with relying on incentives is that it is never enough. If money is the only employee engagement strategy we are offered, then the only way to keep the team motivated is to continue to offer us more. The more we are given, the more we will expect. Extrinsic motivation is dependent on constantly maintaining the valence of the reward in the eyes of the employee. And it is worth mentioning that research has shown that intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation are not additive. Instead, they are interactive. That is, the addition of extrinsic motivators may either diminish or enhance intrinsic motivation. Where does it end? Could money be just another type of addiction? Yes, money is very much a factor. When it doesn't provide for basic living expenses or doesn't reflect the contribution that we are providing to the organization. Receiving what we feel is fair compensation frees us from worrying about survival needs and supports our belief that we are in a mutually beneficial relationship with the organization. But many companies use monetary compensation like a sledgehammer in the delicate china shop of human motivators. Financial incentives reduce intrinsic motivation, leading us to rely on outside rewards only to return to our old ways the moment the payments stop. 2. Pay is a hygiene factor, not a motivator. Money constantly a topic of discussion. More importantly, it is perennially relevant in how powerful a tool it can be to motivate the average worker. Economists argue that money is the only serious motivator. Supposedly people are logical, rational decision makers that always act in their financial self-interest. Right? Not entirely. The simple fact is that money is only one motivator and not always the most powerful. Job security, a pleasant environment, a considerate boss are all motivators as well. Consider the following: would you prefer $1,000 or a week's extra holiday? $10,000 or a new job title? $50,000 or a job guarantee for life? $100,000 or meaningful and intrinsically satisfying work? Put like that, as a choice between money alone other motivators, the power of money may decline. Employers need to get it right. All they can aspire to is that employees will not be mad at each other and the company because of compensation. If handled badly or perceived as unfair, pay will act as a demotivator. If an organization doesn't have those hygiene factors, people will experience dissatisfaction with their work. I like to express it this way: pay is a satisfier but not a motivator. Extrinsic motivators alone won't do anything to make us love our job. They just stop us from hating it. They reduce dissatisfaction to a neutral level. Thus, overcompensating people won't make up for a poor work environment. Bosses can never pay us enough to love our jobs sustainably. If money were to motivate you to spend the majority of your time in a job you hate, so as to make enough money to spend a part of your time in a life you don't hate, does that make any sense? 3. Meaning trumps money. Be honest. What engages you more right now? Is it your current pay or is it the meaningful activities and building meaningful relationships? One of the biggest benefits of the modern workplace is its ability to serve as a platform and catalyst to foster human connection and a sense of belonging among employees. How close and connected we feel with our coworkers makes such a difference. People don't leave organizations, people leave people. By far one of the most important roles for HR right now is to figure out innovative ways to build a sense of belonging, deepen alignment to the organization's mission, raise engagement and information transparency in a geographically distributed work model. When we belong, we are simply the best version of ourselves. When we feel safe and accepted, we do our best work. Money gets the right people in the door, but it's not necessarily what keeps us there. Research interestingly shows no correlation between how much we are paid and how engaged we are. You can be engaged or disengaged wherever you are on the career ladder. Employers can never create engagement by paying people more. However, they can destroy or disable engagement in a blink of an eye using pay. 4. Money leads to burnout. We never feel we have enough money because we get used to our circumstances very quickly and need more money to make us happy again. That's not you? Think back to your last significant pay increase. When did you get the greatest satisfaction? On the day your boss told you that you were getting a raise? The day it started hitting your bank account? And how much satisfaction was it giving you 6 months later? One of history's few iron laws is that luxuries tend to become necessities and to spawn new obligations. Once people get used to a certain luxury, they take it for granted. Then they begin to count on it. Finally, they reach a point where they can't live without it. This, at its core, is the process that leads to burnout, aka hedonic treadmill. Have you observed that people's expectations grow faster than their wealth? The planet is richer than it's ever been. I don't think it's as happy as it's ever been. Permanent striving might be good for economic growth as a whole, but it's not likely to be good for your mental health. We need to learn how to want what we have, not to have what we want, in order to get steady and stable happiness. I really like this phrase: you can get more money, but you cannot get more time. 5. Incentives are not the same as motivation. Money put us in a happy mood and give us something to feel good about. The only problem is that feeling is fleeting. True motivation is getting us to do something because we want to do it. This type of motivation continues in good times and in bad. Motivation factors are challenging work, recognition, responsibility, and personal growth. Research shows that pay raises won't turn us into a productivity machine. In fact, giving creative people bonuses demotivates us and leads to poorer performance. Incentives only work well in industries with generally uninspiring jobs. Industries where employees aren't proud of the products or the company and do the work simply to get a paycheck. To boost employee engagement, leaders have to understand the individual motivations and infuse them into the job regularly. That's real incentive. The main value of money is that we live in a world in which its importance is overestimated. The research on compensation shows money does not really increase happiness, and only decreases happiness when its absence is a source of stress. This can happen for 2 reasons. First, when a person or a family cannot afford basic necessities like food, clothing, housing, utilities, and the basic costs of living. Income levels beyond basic needs has little long-term effect on happiness. Second, when people overextend themselves financially. Making £1 million every year is less satisfying when one is spending twice that amount. And the happiness or satisfaction associated with greater spending is short-lived. A larger house, a more expensive car, a more costly label on clothing can provide a momentary boost of excitement. It does not contribute to any sort of long-term happiness. Money only affects happiness in a relative sense. In conclusion, the amount of money you get paid for your work is a huge distraction. If money really is a powerful motivator or satisfier at work, why has research consistently shown that there is no relationship between wealth and happiness? If you look at work as just a place to get a paycheck, you're doing a disservice to yourself. It is nearly impossible to avoid work and life merging into one, so you might as well make the most of it and align your goals to create the life experience you want. This is your life, make the most of it. Don't allow external incentives to detract your focus on meaningful non-monetary goals. If you value the wrong things, it doesn't matter how hard you work or how productive you are, you're going to end up in the wrong place. My thesis: when money isn't your motivator, you'll get higher returns. You will get paid more, ultimately. The way you feel about money dictates how much of it you have. Your feelings about earning it, spending it, and saving it, it affects your entire economic situation. Look at money as a necessary evil, and you become a slave to it. Look at money as the fuel for the life you want to live, and money serves you. View money as a byproduct of providing value, and you can enjoy it. The main lesson: money is important, and don't forget it. You can pay your rent or mortgage on independence or work engagement or a positive attitude. But money only goes so far, and is hardly enough to bring out the best in people. Share your opinion in the comments if you recognize yourself. Subscribe and watch more interesting videos on our channel. Like this video if it was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Bye.